Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm showing you a recipe known as the Rudy's cream corn copycat. I typically make it in my crock pot. However, in this video, I started it on the stove because we were getting ready for church and I didn't have hours and hours for it to sit in the crock pot. But it turned out fantastic, and I take you step by step in this video how to whip up this really easy and delicious side dish for any family event or even a weeknight dinner that you have. And the link is in the description below. Enjoy. Typically, I would make this recipe in a crock pot and let it warm throughout the day, but on this day, I needed it to come together a little bit quicker as we were going to a potluck at church. And so I started with 4 pounds of frozen corn on the stove at about medium-low heat and just wanted to get it warm together. And here I show you, this is what I used, great value. Whole kernel corn did the trick. And then next, the recipe calls for a stick of butter. And so I just cut those into little pads and then put them into my mixture. The butter was stuck to the plate. It's a little tricky holding the phone and doing this at the same time. So next I have my butter in there, and you just want to begin mixing it. You want to make sure your heat isn't too hot or the corn on the bottom will start to brown, which isn't really what you're looking for. Next, the recipe calls for 2 8-ounce blocks of cream cheese. So there you have it. And I got some more cream cheese in there, and we're just starting to stir it up. Like I said, you want to keep an eye on the heat. There were even moments where I turned the heat off because I just wanted it to be warm. I didn't necessarily want it to cook. So here we have our cream cheese in the pot. We have our butter in the pot. And then next, the recipe calls for whipping cream. So this recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup of whipping cream. And this is what gives it that silky, luxurious texture, and I love this recipe. It is always a hit. I didn't get a video of my crock pot, but it was totally empty after the potluck today. So this recipe, it just hits the spot for comfort food. Next, the recipe calls for sugar and 4 tablespoons of sugar. And don't worry, I'm going to link that recipe in the description. But like I said again, we just want to make sure that heat isn't on too high and we're stirring. Next, I added in my salt and my pepper. And there you see that going in. And just want to keep stirring and make sure that that cream cheese and that butter is all getting distributed and melted. This is one of my favorite recipes to make for a large crowd because it does make so much. And for our family, even though there's 6 of us, I'm afraid I'd eat like half the pot if I made this for like dinner. So I'm always looking for an excuse to make this cream corn recipe. And it's actually a mock recipe from Rudy's Barbecue. So that's how I found it years ago on Google, and it's one of my favorites. Now at this point, I lined my crock pot with a crock pot liner because that just makes cleanup a total breeze, and everything is melted together. And then I set it on low for several hours, and it was perfect. It was so good, and I would love if you made it for you to let me know in the comments. And if you like this kind of content, give this video a thumbs up. But just look at that creamy goodness. I mean, get in my belly. So there you have it, Rudy's Copycat cream corn, and it is delicious. It hits the spot, and you're not going to be sorry that you made it. So I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.